Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a special grudge match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, Big Papa Pump, Steiner!
Last night, Don West, you and I were having dinner. We talked about the Destination X card, and we talked about the matchup at Destination X. And yes, Elevation X is one of those matches that we were on the edge of our seats to see. But you turned to me and you said, if there's that one match that I'm looking forward to at Destination X, it's the immovable object, irresistible force, Big Papa Pump, the genetic freak, Scott Steiner. He's ready to do battle with the Olympic gold medalist. Brought a little eye candy to the ring, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely. That's just who Scott Steiner is. And Mike, you said it. You can't wait for this match.
And his opponent, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he's the only Olympic gold medalist in professional wrestling history. He is
In all the years that I've been around professional wrestling, I think it's safe to say that we are looking at the two most intense individuals maybe ever in our sport. Certainly when I think you talk about active competitors, you talk about intensity, you talk about full speed ahead, never putting it in reverse. Two names come to mind, the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle, and the Big Papa Pump himself, Scott Steiner.
I mean, they wear their heart on their sleeve. Their emotions are out there for everybody to see. They can't control them. It's just who they are. They're so intense. They're so focused. Unlike anybody else you'll see in a wrestling ring. And that comes from their history. Both of them have the same history. It's collegiate wrestling in the whole 9 yards. And you know, you talk about dream matches, and you mentioned it. We always talk. We couldn't help it. This is the one match we wanted to see above all else. And that's just because you always wonder, what would it be like when the irresistible force meets the immovable object?
Then factor in the situation where Scott Steiner feels in his mind that he was frozen out of TNA because TNA management went out and signed the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. At the same time that Steiner was negotiating his contract to come back to TNA, they inked Kurt Angle to the big deal. Scott Steiner feels like he was on the outside looking in. And in his mind, this is about gaining revenge for taking money away from him, from taking food off of his table.
I mean, let's face it, a lot of people were jealous when the Olympic gold medalist came in here. That's just understandable, but you know what? They stayed here. Scott Steiner didn't. Scott Steiner didn't get a call, and he felt there was one reason. They couldn't afford both of them. Scott Steiner, in his mind, feels that all the praise, all the glory that Kurt Angle's getting for helping TNA go to that next level should have been his.
Shoulder block in mid-ring. Steiner takes Angle down. First offensive move of the matchup. Intensity, we can just see it right in their eyes, can't you? As they lock it up and Steiner grabs the side headlock.
You know, when you think about these two and you think of the mat wrestling skills, you think, well, Kurt Angle has a distinct advantage. But let me tell you something. In wrestling, weight has a big advantage. And Scott Steiner's got that edge on Kurt Angle. But Kurt Angle, he's not somebody to shy from anybody. He's going to have to try to dictate the pace. He's going to have to try to make sure he can go in and out, stay out of the grasp of the biggest arms and the shortest fuse in the business.
Think of the defensive aspect of this match. So often you think of offensive moves. Scott Steiner, he's got to stay out of the ankle lock. Oh, there's one. That's payback. That's payback. That's a headbutt right across the bridge of the nose, and then the great uppercut that follows.
Oh, Scott Steiner in his face, Kurt Angle. He methodically timed it perfectly, and look at the advantages given. Kurt Angle just applies the foot right to the neck, and he busted him open.
Yeah, look at the forehead of Scott Steiner. You talk about Turnabout fair play, exactly what we've seen here. Steiner on impact several weeks ago with that vicious headbutt that opened up Angle, and Angle comes right back and gets himself some here at Destination X. Remember, Steiner, whoa, and a shoulder block by the Olympic gold medalist. Steiner needs to stay out of the ankle lock, and Angle, he's got to be very wary of the Steiner recliner. There's the first suplex, and you know that's not the last one we're going to see here. Belly-to-belly takeover. Suplex hit by Angle on Big Papa Pump. Follow moves, a running clothesline.
Oh!
Whoa, man, Steiner went over the top, and his face hit the apron on the way down.
Mike, you got to ask yourself, how prepared was Scott Steiner? We saw him come in nonchalant with the glass of wine and the beautiful ladies. We saw him walk into the ring. I think he was using that as playing mind games. But you don't play mind games with Kurt Angle. You wonder how prepared he was, as Kurt Angle obviously prepared and knew once he got the momentum he would go right after and look at it. But he slides out, Scott Steiner waits and then hits him with the clothesline.
You know, you don't often see Angle try a move like that baseball slide. He went to the well with it that time, and he paid the price because Steiner moves out of the way and then comes right back by decking him out on the arena floor with that clothesline.
Oh, he's got him right there by the steps, and you knew it was coming, and he just slammed his face on the steel steps.
See the impact of Angle going into the steps there? I mean, you could lose a tooth. You can lose a tooth that way.
You could break your nose. You could break your chin. Just smash your face in whole, and Kurt Angle dazed. Scott Steiner now realizes all it took was a couple vicious shots, and yeah, you're not going to see the athleticism of an AJ Styles and a Jerry Lynn or a Chris Sabin. You're just going to see two hard rock warriors just fight it out, strength on strength, mano a mano, and here it is, taking the elbow up, and brings it right down on
right into
Angle.
the pin attempt, but barely a one count. I think Angle, after being taken into those steel steps, pretty happy that he's wearing that mouthpiece, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Fired off into the corner as Steiner charges in. Angle gets the boot up and drops him like a big redwood tree, then goes right to the mount. Going to try and further open up the cut on the head of Steiner with a series of right hands.
Just vicious rights right there by Kurt Angle. But you know, I was talking with Samoa Joe, who had epic battles with Scott Steiner, and he said the hard part is he's just such a hard load to lug around. I mean, he wears you out just when you're clinching with him, and you can see that's what's happening. And he has a weight advantage, as I mentioned before, on Kurt Angle here, and Scott Steiner using it to his advantage, and now look at him apply the pressure.
Yeah, it's pretty much been the story of the match to this point. Steiner exploiting the edge and advantage that he has. And now at this point, he's just neutralizing Angle. Again, notice the weight positioning here. Not only grabs that hold around the neck of Angle, but at the same time, he's putting all of his weight, as you mentioned, that Joe related to you, putting all of his weight behind it, and that just wears Angle out.
Oh, it does, and both these guys have that ability to make you submit. And now Kurt Angle, those ropes are looking farther and farther away because he can't get to a base. He's trying to, he's got to his feet. Oh, and he uses the elbow, and he goes quick, and that's what you gotta do when you see the opening, you gotta take it.
Desperation, and drops him with that back suplex. Took Steiner high up into the air and dropped him down right on the back of his head. But boy, Angle slow to recover.
He's out of breath. He's out of oxygen. I mean, we saw Scott Steiner just have that chokehold on him and wasn't going to let it go. But look at the rights now. One right after another. Oh, what an uppercut by Kurt Angle. Just vicious. Then he hits another one.
Surprisingly, Angle gets the better of the exchange. Then connects. Suplex number one. And you'll notice contact maintained. He's still got the grip. He's still got his hands together. That's suplex number two.
Unreal.
This is a big load to take over.
And he goes for a third one. And look at that. And Scott Steiner takes it, but he had to let go on that one. And you can see that that takes a lot out of Kurt Angle, too. It takes a lot out of the Olympic gold medalist, but right back to his feet. And look at him. He's waiting on Scott Steiner right there, and he goes after him.
Caught him with the boot right into the gut. Try and take him up for, I think it might have been the Olympic slam. Instead, belly to belly by Steiner leads to a near fall.
You can see Scott Steiner thought maybe he had him, and that was one of those where Scott Steiner was just wanting to hold on to him tight, close, and just hopefully could drive his weight into him and get the quick pin.
Think of the intimidation factor as well, as you saw Steiner make eye contact with the referee, thinking that he had the 3 count. Referee says no, only 2. Angle with the boot, catches him out of nowhere, picks him up.
Olympic slam.
Dropped him right on his back.
1,
Pin, 2,
no.
Man, he's won so many matches through the years with that Olympic slam. Impressive just to get someone with Steiner's size and strength up. Here it is, ankle lock applied.
No, he's got it in place right now, and man, Scott Steiner, this is not where you want to be. Look where he's at in the ring. He is right in the middle. He's a long way from a rope, but you can see Steiner holding on for all he's worth.
And
Kurt Angle has the, oh, nice move, nice counter by Steiner.
Tuck and roll is what Steiner did. Quick roll up out of the corner.
1, 2, got it.
Oh, Angle shoulders down for just 2.
So look at that. Scott Steiner thought he had it but you know what? He went to bark at the ref, and Kurt Angle saw that and used it to get it.
Oh, man. Went in to try and put that shoulder block right into the chest, right into the gut of Scott Steiner, and instead, all he did was wrap his shoulder around the steel post.
Scott Steiner now realizes he's going to try to put in the Steiner recliner right here, and it looks like he's getting set up for it.
There it is, Steiner recliner. He's got an applied submission hold here. So far, we've seen Angle use the ankle lock, not able to have Steiner tap. Steiner recliner, it's momentarily broken.
Look at,
one way to take him down. Gonna try and go for a pin. Gets 1, 2. Oh.
I'll tell you what, though, that was probably those Olympic days going right back at him. He just did what he had to do. Grab the legs and use your weight and drive it forward. Oh, man, what an uppercut. You can see Steiner lost his balance. And the ropes were what held him up.
Don't often see Steiner overpowered with a move like that. That's exactly what happens. And Steiner puts on the brakes and back body drops Angle. Yeah, bad landing out to the floor.
Nice. You got to give Scott Steiner credit for that. It looked like he just had no balance. And he saw Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, I think, felt the same thing. And Scott Steiner just lowered and then rose it up at the right time. And now Kurt Angle's reeling. Oh, man. Slammed him into the rail.
Advantage Steiner. And there goes Angle. You're right. Directly into the unprotected steel of the guardrail. Steiner says count him out.
Oh, he'll take a victory any way you can. You don't worry about how you beat a Kurt Angle.
A weary Kurt Angle makes his way back into the ring, and boy, is Steiner ever ready for it. Just chomping at the bit, waiting for him to get into the ring.
Oh, look at this.
Version of the Olympic slam, you think?
And he got him up there high, and you could see Angle landed hard and maybe landed wrong.
I mean,
he's not moving down there.
Can you imagine if he were to beat Angle first with his own move and then make him tap to the Steiner recliner? Here it comes.
Oh, he's got it in place. Scott Steiner had confidence the whole time. Scott Steiner felt that his weight, his experience would be an advantage. He felt like Kurt Angle was overrated. And look at him apply. Look at him pull back on the chin. Look at the pain.
Cranking on the head, cranking on the neck of Angle, who digs down deep and amazingly breaks it and then elevates him up. Olympic slam.
How could he do that? How could he figure it out and he takes the straps off? And you know he's ready to go now.
If there's ever a time when he takes the intensity level up another notch, it's when the straps come down. There's the ankle lock.
He's got it in place. He's holding it in tight. You see Scott Steiner trying to get to the ropes, but he can't right now. And he's wondering if he's going to tap and look at him, try to get a base. And again, Kurt Angle has got it applied here. Scott Steiner getting closer, and he's got the rope.
Man, fans,
he pulls him off.
Pulls him right back into the middle of the ring and maintains his grip on the ankle lock. The fans here expecting that Steiner was going to tap in anticipation. But no, Steiner uses his free leg to kick out and then comes right back with a vicious clothesline. Just about took his head off.
Man, I'll tell you what, it's just like a wall hitting him, but you can see how out of breath he is.
And look at him favor the ankle.
Oh, well, he just had a vicious ankle lock put on, and that's what it does to you. If you get out of it, you can't walk. It's like your foot's asleep because it cuts the blood off to it.
Yeah, even you felt that.
Yes, I can tell you right now, I didn't get feeling back in it for like a week.
Big Papa Pump. Gonna try, my God, is he gonna go for a belly-to-belly here?
Unbelievable, up from the top right here, you can see him. Kurt Angle, though, getting up.
Look out.
Wait a minute, Steiner, look at this. Kurt Angle,
Sunset flip attempt. Steiner holding on for dear life.
2, got it.
Got the pin.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner,
Scott Steiner, he was going to go for that top rope, belly to belly, going to try and toss him overhead, but Kurt Angle just outsmarted Big Papa Pump, came over with the sunset flip and got the 3 count.
Well, and you could see how hard Scott Steiner was holding on to and the strength that takes out of you once he let mean, we're going to look at some of the action from this match right here and show you, but once he let go, Angle able to get the pin. Here's the beginning. Watch this headbutt. Oh. What a shot there by Angle.
What a message Angle sent to Steiner, opened him up with the headbutt. Angle hit the clothesline that sent Steiner out to the floor, and here's those trifecta suplexes. Caught him with those 3 in a row. Great move here, 3 suplexes in a row on Steiner.
And then it looked like Scott Steiner was getting the momentum back his way, and he's got the Steiner recliner in, and you can see the drool and the pain, but then it was the ankle lock, and I think that's where the real damage was done on that ankle lock right there, because watch this, Steiner holding on for dear life, but when he finally gets him, he had nothing left.
There's the 3 count, there's the win, Angle gets the W. Let's go to JB with Samoa Joe. Impressive win. Now we're going to send it to the back. Here's the challenger, Samoa Joe.